Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of this amendment, which has passed the House 3 times, and which clarifies the authority of military commission judges to order court proceedings at Guantanamo Bay to be broadcast on the Internet. At its core, this amendment has a simple goal: transparency. By passing this amendment, we will show the American people that we believe they have the right to observe military commission proceedings, including those against the individuals who planned the 9/11 attacks. We owe transparency to the loved ones and families of the victims, but we should also provide transparency for journalists, academics, NGOs, and all concerned Americans who are understandably deeply interested in these vital proceedings. Importantly, this bill does not require particular proceedings to be in open session. That will still be for the judges to decide. But when they are open to the public, they should be accessible so that victims do not need to travel to Guantanamo to bear witness. I will continue to work to permanently close the prison at Guantanamo Bay, but in the meantime, Congress must act to ensure transparency for the American people. This bill is fully protective of classified information, and I encourage all members to support our amendment and reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from California reserves. For what purpose? Gentleman from Alabama. Rice.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in opposition to this legislation.
Gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. I oppose the gentleman's amendment. It allows some of the most hardened terrorists in U.S. custody a platform to publicly broadcast their message. Our military commission's process at Guantanamo Bay has already been substantially delayed. Letting hardened terrorists know there's a public audience for their hate will do far more harm than good. Federal courts have stuck to their guns against broadcasting major terrorism cases, such as the trial of Zacarias Musali, and I see no reason to make an exception for terrorists at Guantanamo Bay. Even the Biden administration has fought against prior versions of this amendment. I urge my colleagues to oppose this amendment. Now yield back. I reserve.
Gentleman from Alabama reserves. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, is there time remaining in opposition, or should I close?
The gentleman from Alabama has time remaining.
Gentleman from Alabama has time remaining. He has yielded. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves. Gentleman from Alabama. Gentleman from Alabama reserves. Gentleman from California is recognized to close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I urge support for the bill. Again, this bill does not require proceedings to be available online, but it does ensure that judges have that authority. And I think that this is something that the victims would like, because the victims would like to be able to observe the proceedings without having to travel all the way to Guantanamo. And in the interest of those victims, I would urge support for the passage of this amendment. And with that, I yield back.